Yes, the salt is fine. What the soil maintain particles is the herbs from us are doing capacity of salt.
I'm really excited about your January.
Good. How can I say I want to sign up for the class you don't know about yet?
Okay.
It's really great. It's an ongoing collaboration with the co-op, and I just love doing that. Because the co-op is just the perfect institution to support this.
Oh, you mean, are there a lot of, this is one of what I do,
Right.
because I signed up for
That's
the
totally good.
No.
I'm worried about, okay, so this is what
Okay.
yeah, that's what makes me nervous. I think we just need to overall not be nervous. Just do it.
You'll pay for it. You'll pay for it with this.
This is good, real bad.
That one, I'm going to try and always have it be the first weekend of January. I think that's going to be a little tougher because it's going to Jackson.
Yeah. And we're going to need to layer it.
So I put this out on my calendar and see. See, the first weekend is right around New Year's. I think you're going to get out of town. So I think that that is going to happen later. Which is kind of fine for starting, but it's a little early to start that before that. Okay.
All right.
Oh, right here. On the iron
So
beach.
let's-
Yes. I've never been on that page.
Just adding some flour, right?
Almost making dough. I don't know what you're doing.
Flour. Wait, so do I use all this flour?
Who said that?
What'd you say?
It's not nice to tease your teacher.
Do I use all this flour?
Let me bring the rest of the bag here.
We got our own over here. We're good.
The whole bag for OBGYN. Oh, that's awesome.
You were going to use this as a landmark, weren't you?
Yeah.
So he's post-college.
Oh God. I don't know if that technique is worth. Oh, Jen, your yeast in there yet?
I've got all of it.
Oh, you did it too fast. You did too much. I'm gonna do what's that called?
Have you added? Have you put in the yeast yet?
I just did.
All right, I'm doing it. Hey, this chick step.
You know what? I'm like an artisan bond with this bread already. It's a living creature. We've already
Tom
found
tells us that pizza dough is scary, by the way.
it. It's scary.
Scary.
Oh my God, it smells
That's a
good.
very good parameter.
Is that with a layer?
I'm still living.
I want to see your technique.
Whatever.
Right now, I'm wet to the meat.
Folks, is anybody measuring?
Yes.
Okay, finish your measuring.
No, I'm finished.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay. I don't like to talk when people are measuring, but because that would mess you up, you know. At least it messes me up, so I'm measuring. As Saya was doing hers, and she was using more whole wheat. It reminds me, I want to tell you something about whole wheat. If you're working with whole wheat, because it has gluten, because it has bran and germ, neither of which are very absorptive, it's way slower to take in water. So a very good trick with whole wheat is to add the bulk of your water, of your flour, even in a direct dough, to the water and walk away for 10 minutes. Now you might as well, while you're at it, auto-ice it and mix it up. But the reason you need to do that is you need to let that water take the 10 minutes to absorb, or what will happen is you'll be trying to knead it, and it'll seem way too wet, so you'll add flour. It's actually not wet, it's just the water's on the outside, and it hasn't gotten in yet. And by the time it finally gets in, you'll have way too much flour. So just know that. You should probably mix the flour in.
You put the salt in.
Yes, you can ask all the questions you want.
So when we get home, maybe we're not going to have an old dough,
Yeah, that's what I'm
right?
I'll give you a recipe for making one.
Okay, cool. You're making an old dough?
Yeah.
So does the old
You can actually, and the recipe's a great bread. You can save half of it
Right.
for old dough and use half of it right away.
Could we just use this recipe without the?
You can. You
Okay.
can. Yeah, you can. The thing is, the recipe I use is that recipe that I collapsed a 48 hours fermentation into 5 hours or something.
Okay.
Because it uses a little bit of milk in the starter
Okay.
and very hot water in the starter, it actually mounds a little bit, and that's easier to see. Here, what you might see is the first sign of something going the other way, the slightest sign, and that's close enough to the apex that it'll be really powerful still. But if it gets a long seam, then you've lost some power. If it falls in on itself, then it's probably not going to be a real strong bread. You know, you can still, you can always make things better with the next phase. You know, really good kneading, really good proofing, really good baking can make up for missing one thing. You know, but when it's spectacular, you aced every stage. You know, and that's when it's artisan. You know, and that doesn't happen. I mean, artisan doesn't happen overnight, and you can't buy it on a supermarket shelf. You know, it's just not there. It doesn't matter what they say. It really is about learning all the pieces.
Just experimenting and seeing what
And becoming connected. And you know, how can I tell when it's ready? I look at it because I've been doing it for so long, you know, and that's it, you know.
And then do you sprinkle the flour, add your salt and
It
oil?
does, yeah, you don't have to be gentle with it. Once the only reason you're being gentle is so you don't get a false read.
Okay.
So that by bumping it, it falls and you go, it's ready, but it actually wasn't ready. You know. Once you say it's time, you just take a handful of flour and stir it in. It no longer matters. It was simply about catching the power there.
And the oil and salt, just throw it in.
You just get it in there and start mixing. Try to keep the oil and salt away from the yeast. That's about it. You just throw a layer. You can literally just throw a layer of flour on, throw your yeast on, throw another layer of flour, throw your salt and oil on, and start kneading.
If it already has yeast.
It's right there. I think it's actually starting to. You know, I think you're at the apex and maybe a moment past it. So I would just go.
Oh God.
Hurry.
You want to know what not to do when you.
I know, right?
You're nowhere near in trouble. You're fine.